Today's sermon, homily, if you will. Homily means brief, and I'll try to make it brief. Everybody's doing it. Someone asked me, why are you Christians so get bent out of shape about certain things that society says are okay? Why do you get so bent out of shape and try to press your morals upon other people and society at large? Why can't you just go along with the flow? Well, children, today I want to tell you about going along with the flow. This is why we can't be just going along just because everybody's doing it. God gave us a simple command. He says to us simply that you are to be salt and light. Salt, if it loses its savor, is useless. And what good is light if you hide it under a bushel? If you are in the darkness, let your light shine forth so that you may see the way home. And salt, another characteristic of salt is that it's abrasive. In the early days, salt would be used as a sort of sandpaper to smooth metals, to smooth wood even. Salt was as valuable as gold, if not more so, for its characteristics of its abrasion and his ability to flavor and season everything that it came in contact with. Christians, we must be salt and light. Let me give you an example of some things. When Adam and Eve were in the garden, and the serpent slithered over to Eve and said to Eve, take a bite out of this apple. But the Lord said that if I do take a bite out of that apple, I shall die. And the serpent said, oh, you shall not surely die, for surely your eyes will be opened, you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So then Eve took the apple and took a bite out of it. And then she took it over to Adam and said, look what the serpent has told me. Take this apple, eat of it. And of course Adam took the apple and ate it. Why? Because Eve had done the same thing. And why did Eve do it? Because the serpent told her to do it, and it was okay. Everybody was doing it. And so in the days of Noah, when Noah had lived and the world had become so corrupt and so vile and so disgusting that God decided he was going to put an end to it at all. Noah was the one who didn't just simply say, everybody's doing it, why don't I do it too? God came to Noah, who was known as, the scriptures, a righteous man, a man of God. He said to Noah, Noah, I am going to send a flood to destroy the earth. You are to build an ark and take 2 of each kind into it, that you may grow and be fruitful and repopulate the world when the flood is over. So what does Noah do? He starts building an ark with his sons. Now, of course, his sons and Noah were building the ark, and the people who lived around them were probably saying, Noah, you are such a fool. Why are you building a boat on dry land? Why don't you come back to the city? Party with us. Everybody's doing it. And so Noah resisted. And as the last of the animals came into the ark, the clouds gathered and the rains began to fall. In Sodom and Gomorrah, we see Lot, a faithful man of God and his family, lived in the cities of Sodom. And the people constantly around them were saying, Lot, why don't you come on out? Bring us your daughters too. Come join us in the revelries we have, because everybody's doing it. And the 2 angels who came to visit Lot told Lot, you are to get your family and get out of the city. But when the people saw the new strangers, that to them they were just strangers, they weren't angels, they did not know. And they said to Lot, Lot, why don't you bring your friends out with us so that we may know them? Understand, dear ones, to know someone in a biblical sense is not just to sit there and shake hands and say, oh, well, who are you? Oh, okay, now I know your name. Now I know you. It's to know someone in biblical sense and let no one tell you differently is that to know them in a sexual sense, in an impure sense, in an improper sense. The sin of Sodom and Gomorrah was not inhospitality, as some people in the modern day will tell you. It was the sin of wanton sexual abandon, and it was the sin of homosexuality, of homosexual acts and bestiality, and of all these other kinds of perversions that you see, and we see coming in again. And why did they do it? Why did they think it was okay? Because everybody was doing it. And so when Lot, his family left the city, The cities were destroyed to this day. And not one thing grows upon the soil. As it was said, the soil was accursed, nothing may grow in it. And to this day we see a great part of Sodom and Gomorrah lies underneath what is now the Dead Sea.